Consuming content that's all targeted on manipulating women's weaknesses, exposing their weaknesses, complaining about every goddamn thing they do. It's like, what am I gaining off of this? Sure, there's some entertainment involved, and sure, there's some good points they make, but besides that, it's all women are this, women are that. You have to be able to sleep with these many women before you get married. None of these things are actually promoted in a righteous way. So I want you to imagine that there's two different guys. The first guy is a guy who's been following this red pill community type of content and watching all these videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok about women, how they're never yours, it's just your turn, how they're always going to cheat on you, how hypergamy is always going to win, and if she sees a man who makes double of what you make, she's automatically going to go for him. So he watches a bunch of this content, he gets brainwashed, and he eventually becomes sucked into this hole, this red pill hole of men who have mostly nothing but negative things to say about women and how to kind of manipulate them to get your way and to get what you want out of them. And then consider the second guy. This second guy, right now he's in a period of his life where he's kind of in a period of discovery. Things aren't exactly the best, but at the same time, he started working on himself months ago. He started going to the gym. He started applying to better jobs because his current job sucks. He started saving more money. He started learning new skills. And as he's on the path to doing this, he takes advice from certain people as well as researches certain things online and listens to all these content creators giving advice, but he only sticks with the advice that makes the most sense of him, and the rest he just ignores. See guys, just like I said in previous videos ago, the red pill community has grown tremendously in recent years, and the problem is that a lot of the creators in this community, although they do have, generally speaking, good knowledge, they brainwash their viewers into thinking, she's not yours, it's just your turn, you'll never be able to attract a woman unless you have big muscles and lots of cash and lots of this and lots of this. But any person with even half a brain will take a kind of rational approach to this and be like, you know what? Is this really common sense that no matter what I do, no matter how good of a person I am, how attracted to me she is, she's just gonna leave me? It's always gonna be just my turn? She's never mine, and she's just always gonna be monkey branching from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy? She's gonna cheat on me when times get rough? Thinking about it, when we analyze this type of behavior, more than likely, right, just common sense, this comes from the fact that a lot of these people who are preaching these ideas or these thoughts either A, have never gotten a turn from women, it was never their turn, women never chose them, they never went out with them, women were never attracted to them, or the second type who was raised and grown in a weird environment where the parents left each other, his friends' girls left them, his cousins filing for divorce, his other cousins getting divorced. So he sees these behaviors, he's like, wait a minute. All women do is monkey branch from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy. She's really never yours. It's just always your turn. And my response to whoever's preaching she's never yours, it's just not your turn, maybe that's the reality for you, dude. Maybe you haven't seen better. Maybe you haven't seen positive relationships. Maybe you haven't had a relationship between your mom and dad where it was actually really strong, where the dad was really masculine, the mom was really feminine, they were deeply in love, they stayed together for ages, 50 years or so, through thick and thin. Maybe you haven't seen that. Maybe you haven't seen friends who've had that. Maybe you haven't seen cousins who've had that. But the whole, she's not yours, it's just your turn, that applies to you. That doesn't apply to every single man out there. Are you trying to convince me that my grandparents, who were married for 47 years, it was just my grandpa's turn? It was just his turn? They were married for 47 years until my grandpa passed away. So don't give me that bullshit how it's just his turn, it's just your turn, she's never yours. That's a bunch of bullshit. I don't agree with that. It makes no sense whatsoever. Again, it makes sense to the group of men who, number one, never had women attracted to them, and number two, they've seen shitty situations happen in their life. The same exact thing with my own parents. My own parents have been married for 33 years now. So is it common sense to say, oh, she was never into my dad, it was just my dad's turn? What? No, that makes no sense. The whole purpose of you, dude, if you're watching any type of self-help related videos, whether it's dating and relationships, whether it's fitness, whether it's mindset, whether it's money, whether it's business, is to get you to grow and to get you to form healthier habits so you can be happier and healthier and more productive. But consuming content that's all targeted on manipulating women's weaknesses, exposing their weaknesses, complaining about every goddamn thing they do, it's like, what am I gaining off of this? Sure, there's some entertainment involved, and sure, there's some good points they make, but besides that, it's all women are this, women are that. You have to be able to sleep with these many women before you get married. None of these things are actually promoted in a righteous way. It's all based upon capitalizing again on their fear of their viewers, because if they don't do that, they're not gonna make money. And if you, the viewer, don't know this, I'm telling you this right now to warn you from these guys, because a lot of them, if they have these mentalities, they're gonna mess you up in the head. You're eventually going to go into every interaction with a woman scared shitless because you think in the back of your mind that some shit is going to happen. Thinking like that is not productive, dude. You have to think more productively. Think in terms of healthy habits. What kind of content could I consume that's going to actually better me? If there's another content creator who has parents who had a very successful marriage, the same thing with his grandparents, the same thing with his cousins, the same thing with his sisters, whatever, and they come from a background where the mom and dad are very supportive of one another, they rarely ever fight, it's a great relationship. Obviously, using common sense, right? It just takes half a brain to know this. You're gonna trust this guy's advice versus the other guy's advice, who's trying to capitalize on your fears, to get you to be so afraid of women to the point where you have to buy their course, because then they make money off of you. Congratulations, you made him win and you made yourself lose. I remember the first time I saw that phrase right there. I guess it was either a video or a comment, I can't remember. She's never yours, it's just your turn. And I was just like, what in the actual hell is this supposed to mean? All these people with successful relationships, 50, 60, 70 years of relationships. One couple has been together for that long, is what I'm saying. Yet you think, oh, it's just your turn. She's never yours, it's just your turn. Sure, she's never yours. You never own her. You never own anybody. No one's yours. But she's still in a relationship with you. She was with that man right there for 50 years. She was with that other man right there for 60 years. It's another woman. Yet here you are saying, oh, it's just your turn. It's just your turn. It's just your turn. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you can't attract women enough. Maybe you can't keep women around you long enough. And if that's the case, then you are definitely the problem. That's like women saying that all a man wants is a woman with big tits and a big ass. And that's the only way he's going to fall in love with you. Sure, a man wants those things, but that's not everything. People who have such a one-dimensional level of thinking and thinking that it's just this answer, it's just this answer, it's just that answer, it's so stupid to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Sure, there are horrible women out there. Yes, that is the truth. There are horrible women who go out there and cheat. Yes. Some women monkey branch from one guy to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Yes, that's true. But don't come out here and saying that, every woman is going to be like this. She's never yours. It's just your turn. No, that makes no sense. That's like one of her girlfriends telling the girl he only likes you because you have big breasts and a big butt. That's it. And it's like, sure, that is a reason in terms of physical attraction, but it's not just that. It's funny how a lot of the guys in the same red pill space, they probably all had very similar circumstances growing up. Between their parents, their cousins, their family members, everyone. You, on the other hand, should have some wisdom, unbiased wisdom, and say, from an objective standpoint, does this make any sense? She's never yours, it's just your turn. Does this make any sense? When my own grandparents were married for, 50 years, does that make sense? Think about it like that. Now, someone in the comment section right now is gonna be like, oh, but that was then and this is now. No, that's just because you have a shitty mindset, a negative mindset, and you're not proactive about the things that are happening in your life. Instead, you're bitching and moaning, oh, no women ever seems to like me. They all monkey branch from guy to guy. Maybe the problem is you. Just a couple videos I made ago. How nobody thinks they're average and how modern dating has become delusional. Maybe the problem is you if that's the case. If you're not attracting women, the kind of women that you really want, you're not getting these matches on these dating apps if you're into dating apps. If you're not able to approach a woman in person and confidently ask for her number and get her number, if you don't have good style, if you don't have this, if women don't seem really interested when they're talking to you and they're on their phone the whole time, maybe the problem is you, dude. Instead of blaming it on women, maybe the problem is you. That's like hanging out with the wrong crowd of people who one of them's a murderer, one of them's a rapist, the other's a robber, and then hanging out with them for 10 years and then saying everybody on the planet is horrible. Everyone's a murderer, everyone's a robber, and everyone's a rapist. No, that's not the case. That's just all you know. That's the case for you because you don't know better, because that's shitty quality people. So don't come out here and saying that everyone is one way when that's all that you know. You haven't seen positivity in a specific area. Don't say that every woman is like that. That's not fair. That's not wise either. So to you who is watching this, I really hope that you actually understand the difference between a biased opinion and an unbiased opinion and start using this objectively. Start thinking about this from a logical perspective. Is what this person's saying, does it make any sense or no? What about this person? What they're saying, does it make any sense? Even me, just because you're watching this video doesn't mean you have to subscribe and you have to buy this and you have to buy a coaching session. Think about that. Does this make any sense? If not, then don't do it. Stick to what sticks and ignore the rest. Think about that the next time someone's telling you something that either makes sense or doesn't make sense. If it makes sense, it's gonna stick. If it doesn't, it's not gonna stick. And challenge people. If people are telling you about their opinions on certain things, challenge them on it. Don't just blindly accept things or opinions from one person as though they're facts, because they're not always facts. That's not always the truth.